Eli in the studio. Joining me today is Virginia Jimenez, and she's here to share with our listeners about the Holy Trinity Academy Century Club Dinner Gala that's going to take place at the Mitchell Museum January 21st. Virginia, welcome to this edition of FYI.
Thanks for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
It's always good to have you on the show. Well, this is a event that has been materializing now for how many years? I can't even remember, because when I was a kid, my parents brought me to the event, to the dinner.
Yeah, I can't tell you the exact number of years, to be honest, but the Century Club dinner has been happening since I was a kid, so probably sometime in the mid-90s.
Okay, mid-90s.
Yeah.
And it's a great time for everyone because it's a collaborative effort with the students and the parents and the community.
Yes. So this year we're going to have it at the Mitchell Museum because we want to support other nonprofits like ourselves. And we also are going to, the event will be catered by Sunset Bar and Grill, which we're really excited about because if you haven't been there, the food is absolutely fantastic. And the chef is the sweetest man. So if you ever get the chance to meet him, oh my goodness, he's so kind.
Okay, so the Holy Trinity Academy Century Club Dinner, Virginia, is an event that highlights the achievements of current students and honors alumni of HTA, which I am, as well as you.
Yes.
And your family.
Yes.
And your grandparents and everyone else. So it's a get-together. It's a family reunion, pretty much.
For me, that's always what it feels like, for sure.
And for people that can't attend, they can just give a donation, or mail in a donation.
Yes.
And later on in the interview, I'll get some contact information from you.
Absolutely.
So we can do that. So the Mitchell Museum is a great place to hold a dinner. Mm-hmm. And is there going to be any live entertainment?
Yes. So there'll be a few things going on. We'll have a silent auction that will have some student artwork. So we've got some students making art that will be part of that. We also are going to have a few performances by the students. There's the School Choice Week happens every January, and this is a week where private schools are kind of celebrated throughout the country. And they put up a dance on their YouTube channel, and then they encourage private schools like, hey, have your kids do this dance, share it on their social media. So one thing that's become part of the Century Club in the last few years is our students learn the school choice dance, and then they perform it every year. And every year it's a different dance. So our younger ones will be performing that. The older ones, we have a few musicians. They're going to play their instruments for us. It's really exciting. I'm trying to get them to read poetry and hey, that essay you did a really good job on, come read it. But they're being a little shy right now, some of the older students. But they'll be there.
Okay. Well, for the people that are just joining in and listening maybe on the highway, if you're not familiar with Holy Trinity Academy, it's a faith-based coeducational school that attempts to educate the whole person in cooperation with the faculty, the home, the church, and the community. So I think that's a pretty good mission statement.
Yeah, we work with our parents very closely to make sure that we meet the students where they are. I would say that's the biggest thing about Holy Trinity Academy.
Also helping students with spiritual and ethical decisions, which is very pertinent after they leave HTA.
Oh, yes, absolutely. When we have life skills, we try to also, and we also have theology classes, of course, that are all Christian based.
Christian values. Sure.
Yes. And they can ask their teacher questions about life. If they have a thought and they need advice, they can go to the teachers. Some students are comfortable with more teachers than others, but we all are there for them. And we can support them in their decisions if they are like, hey, I have this thing I want to talk to my mom about, but I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, great, let's talk about that. They're smart kids, and we're able to give them opportunities for better communication because we are able to talk about some of those things.
You also were an instructor at HTA.
I am
Correct.
still.
You still are.
I still am.
Okay. So let me ask you something. If someone was a bit tentative or apprehensive about maybe, I don't know if I want to do that, how would you coerce them, or would you have to coerce them into attending HTA? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, I mean, they have a choice, right? That's the great thing about being a private school is like people get to choose us. And if a student comes in for a tour and they are not sure, well, they will answer questions, right? The biggest thing I would tell them is whatever it is that you think you're about, this is a good place to be because we have the flexibility to individualize education for students. So we have a handful of young, really little ones. I think we have a second grader right now who is actually in the third grade classroom and functioning like a third grader because that's where she is. We have a couple other younger ones who next year will probably be sort of skipping a grade, right? I teach the math classes, and the thing that I love about that, I meet them wherever they are. I have in my middle school classroom, I think I've got 3 different textbooks going, but anytime we need to stop and move, I can individualize that instruction for them.
So, Virginia, would you say HTA creates a harmonic balance between body, soul, and mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're looking forward to attending on January 21st.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've been doing a lot of work to help organize it.
And can you RSVP ticket information, or do you need reservations for this? Because I'm sure it's going to be quite an attendance.
Yes, you can do your reservations online. Right now I have a Google form up on our Facebook event, which you can find on our Facebook page for Holy Trinity Academy. And you can pay through there as well. The tickets are $75 a person. But if you're a business and you'd like to buy a whole table. You can do $400 for 6 seats.
Okay.
And the goal, one of our goals this year is to have the students actually sitting with guests so that guests can directly interact with the students and ask them like what their experience is like being at HTA.
Well, that's some nice transparency.
Yeah, I think it'll be really nice, and they can ask them direct questions, and the kids will be shy at first like kids are. They're also going to be serving you dinner. So
That's true. Good point.
I would say it's an event worth attending. We will have guest speakers as well. We're in the process of confirming those speakers. Otherwise, I'd tell you who's on the list. But I don't want to say something and then you'd be disappointed when you come.
Right.
But you'll just have to buy a ticket and find out. So, yeah, for
Virginia
sure.
Jimenez, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us today on FYI. Anything last thoughts?
No, I don't. Well, HTA is a wonderful school. I really appreciate working there as an alumni also. So
Number at the school in case somebody's interested in.
The number at the school is 719-846-4522.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.